Needle valves are generally not used for a. Very large diameter pipes. B. High pressure throttling service. C. Very accurate flow control. D. Smaller sizes of pipe. The correct answer is very large diameter pipes. Height equivalent to a theoretical plate HETP is the height of packing that will give the same separation as one theoretical plate in gas-liquid mass transfer operations like distillation, absorption, stripping, and humidification, dehumidification. HETP, which is experimentally determined, depends upon the a. Flow rates of each fluid, B. Type and size of packing, C. Concentration of each fluid, D. All ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. Pick out the wrong statement. A. Safety valves are provided in heat exchangers for removal of non-condensables. B. Liquid metals and diatherm are used for very high temperature heating. C. In a shell and tube heat exchanger, high pressure fluid is generally routed through the tube. D. A loop seal or U-seal is provided in a vertical condenser subcooler to prevent quick draining of the condensate. The correct answer is safety valves are provided in heat exchangers for removal of non-condensables. With increase in gas flow rate to fabric surface area ratio NM3/HRM to fabric surface area, the size, the cost of a bag filter A. increases, B. decreases, C. remain unaffected, D. none of these. The correct answer is decreases. A head comprises of straight flange section, corner torus section, and central dish section. Crown radius and knuckle radius in a head is related respectively to the A. central dish section and corner torus section, B. corner torus section and central dish section, C. central dish section and straight flange section, D. straight flange section and corner torus section. The correct answer is central dish section and corner torus section. Number of evaporators which can be used in service in a multiple effect evaporation system is limited by the A. practical limit reached due to low heat transfer rate because of inadequate temperature difference, B. economic limit reached when the plant cost exceeds the saving of steam, C. both A, B, D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A, B. Which of the following is used to set the diameter of the distillation column? A. number of theoretical plates, B. static submergence, C. allowable vapor velocity, D. length of straight rectangular wheel on cross flow tray. The correct answer is allowable vapor velocity. Ponchon Savarit method is based on the use of enthalpy concentration diagram, which contains the bubble point curve, saturated liquid curve, dew point curve, saturated vapor curve, and equilibrium tie lines. As compared to McCabe-Thiele's method, this method A. is more accurate in finding the number of equilibrium stages. B. accounts for the enthalpy changes in the process. C. facilitates direct calculation of heat load on reboiler condenser from the diagram used in this method. D. all ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. The optimum size ratio for two mixed reactors in series depends on the kinetics of the reaction and the conversion level. For reaction orders more than one, the A. equal-sized reactors are the best. B. smaller reactor should come first. C. larger reactor should come first. D. none of these. The correct answer is smaller reactor should come first. In a shell and tube heat exchanger, tube side of the mass velocity, A. heat transfer coefficient is proportional to 0.8 at power. B. pressure drop is proportional to the square. C. both A, B. D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A, B. Which of the following is not a graphical method but is an analytical method for the calculation of theoretical number of stages in case of continuous binary distillation? A. Sorel-Lewis method. B. McCabe-Thiele's method. C. Ponchon Savarit method. D. None of these. The correct answer is Sorel-Lewis method. Saddle supports are used for supporting vessels. A. Horizontal cylindrical. B. Tall vertical. C. Thick-walled vertical. D. Thick spherical. The correct answer is horizontal cylindrical. The diameter of a propeller agitator used in agitation tank ranges from % of the tank diameter, and its peripheral speed is normally 300 to 500 meters minute. A. 5 to 10. B. 15 to 30. C. 40 to 50. D. 55 to 75. The correct answer is 15 to 30. Impact towers provided with saddle packing liquid redistributors are positioned at every times column diameter or 6 meters, whichever is less. A. 2-3. B. 5-8. C. 10-15. D. 20-25. The correct answer is 5-8. Optimum reflux ratio in a continuous distillation column is determined by the A. Maximum permissible vapour velocity. B. Flooding limit of the column. C. Total cost consideration fixed cost of the column plus the cooling water steam cost. D. None of these. The correct answer is total cost consideration fixed cost of the column plus the cooling water steam cost. Cooling water fouling factors vary in the range of 0.001 to 0.003. A. BTUHR.feed2. F1. B. CULHR.m2. C1. CWM2. K1. D. CULHR. MC1. The correct answer is BTUHR.feed2. F1. Minimum recommended baffle spacing in a shell and tube heat exchanger is about where D. Shell diameter. A. 0.2 D. B. 0.5 D. C. 0.66 D. D. 0.80 D. The correct answer is 0.2 D. The maximum liquid gradient over a tray must not exceed A. 0.51.25. B. 23.5. C. 5. D. Half the tray spacing. The correct answer is 0.51.25. An underdesigned steam trap will A. Waste steam. B. Destroy itself of acceleration wear due to rapid recycling. C. Back up condensate and cause water hammer in steam line. D. None of these. The correct answer is back up condensate and cause water hammer in steam line. The slope of the feed line in distillation operation is given by where Q fraction of the feed stream that is liquid. A. Q. B. Q1Q. C. Q1. D. None of these. The correct answer is Q1Q. Speed of industrial paddle agitator ranges from RPM. A. 1 to 5. B. 20 to 100. C. 500 to 750. D. 1000 to 2000. The correct answer is 20 to 100. Strain is measured using a strain rosetta. A. Volumetric. B. Shear. C. Linear. D. None of these. The correct answer is linear. Thin spherical shells subjected to internal pressure develop stresses. A. Radial. B. Circumferential. C. Both A. B. D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is radial. With increase in the reflux ratio for a fixed production from a continuous binary distillation column, the decreases. A. Fixed charges initially. B. Running cost of cooling water for condenser. C. Vapour liquid load both. D. Running cost of steam for reboiler. The correct answer is fixed charges initially. The slope of operating line in the rectifying section of a distillation column is unity if the reflux ratio is A0, B, C1, D minimum. The correct answer is vertical vessels are not supported by A brackets, B skirts, C columns, D saddles. The correct answer is saddles. With increase in pressure drop for a given particle size, the dust collection efficiency of a cyclone separator will A increase, B decrease, C remain unaffected, D increase or decrease depending on the nature of the dust. The correct answer is increase. Spherical shaped pressure vessel is considered to be the most ideal because it can A withstand higher pressure for a given metallic shell thickness, B be fabricated very easily, C be designed without wind load considerations, D be supported very easily. The correct answer is withstand higher pressure for a given metallic shell thickness. An adequate clearance between the tray and the shell wall of a distillation column is provided to A drain the liquid from the tray when the unit is not in operation, B allow for thermal expansion and facilitate installation, C avoid backtrapping, D none of these. The correct answer is allow for thermal expansion and facilitate installation. Overall tray efficiency of a distillation column is the ratio of the number of A overall gas transfer units to the number of ideal trays required, B ideal trays required to the number of real trays required, C real trays required to the number of ideal trays required, D none of these. The correct answer is ideal trays required to the number of real trays required. Pick out the wrong statement about the design of a sieve plate column. An increased weir height improves the tray efficiency at the cost of high plate pressure drop. Optimum weir height being 40-90 mm for column pressure above atmospheric and 6-12 mm for vacuum columns. B for segmental downcomers, the chord length is 60-80 of the column diameter. An initial value of downcomer area of 12 is taken in the design. C width of the coming section provided at the inlet and outlet sides of the plate is 75 mm for column diameter below 1.5 meters and 100 mm for larger diameter columns. D minimum recommended downcomer residence time for the disengagement of entrained vapour is the same for both foaming and non-foaming liquids, which is about 20 seconds. The correct answer is minimum recommended downcomer residence time for the disengagement of entrained vapour is the same for both foaming and non-foaming liquids, which is about 20 seconds. Generally no corrosion allowance in wall thickness of a part is required if the thickness is more than mm. A10, B20, C30, D5. The correct answer is 30. Multiple blade paddle agitator is used for mixing high viscosity liquids paste in which the paddle diameter is commonly 0.8 times the tank diameter. However, the width of the blade is in the range of times the paddle diameter. A 0.1 to 0.25, B 0.3 to 0.5, C 0.5 to 0.6, D 0.65 to 0.80. The correct answer is 0.1 to 0.25. In a riveted joint, the rivets in the various rows are opposite to each other. A zigzag, B chain, C diamond, D none of these. The correct answer is chain. Pick out the wrong statement. The tensile strength of a brittle material is less than its compressive strength. B. The compressive strength of a ductile material is less than its tensile strength. C. In a thick cylindrical shell the hoop stress is maximum at the inner radius. D. The value of crushing load is more than that of buckling load for long columns. The correct answer is the value of crushing load is more than that of buckling load for long columns. Generally elliptical dished heads are manufactured on 2:1 ratio of major to minor axis and is recommended to be used for pressure vessels operating above a pressure of 1.5 m B. Resist half the pressure rating compared to hemispherical head provided on the cylindrical shell of the same thickness and diameter. C. Are approximately as strong as seamless cylindrical shell having the corresponding I.D and OD. D. All A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. Pick out the wrong statement pertaining to the comparative evaluation of performance of the packed tower and the plate tower. A plate tower is preferred if interstage cooling is required to remove heats of reaction or solution. B. Plate tower is preferred over packed tower if the operation involves liquids containing dispersed solids. C. The total weight of a dry plate tower is usually much more than that of a dry packed tower designed for the same duty. D. In operations involving large temperature changes, e.g. distillation, plate towers are preferred over packed towers as the packing may be crushed due to large temperature changes. The correct answer is the total weight of a dry plate tower is usually much more than that of a dry packed tower designed for the same duty. The circumferential hoop stress in a thin-walled cylindrical vessel under internal pressure is A. PD2T, B. PD4T, C. PDT, D. PD3T. The correct answer is PD2T. For fully open gate valves would be A. Much more than that for fully open globe valves. B. Much less say 2 than that for fully open globe valves. C. Around 7. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is both B and C. LMTD correction factor is used in heat exchanger design for A. Double pipe heat exchanger, B. multipass shell and tube heat exchanger, C. fouling fluids, D. counterflow of hot and cold fluids. The correct answer is multipass shell and tube heat exchanger. Floating head heat exchangers are used for the A. heat transfer between corrosive fluids, B. cases where temperature difference between the shell and the tubes is more 50 C. C. Co-current heat transfer systems, D. counter-current heat transfer systems. The correct answer is cases where temperature difference between the shell and the tubes is more 50 C. The most common standard size of bubble caps used in industrial operation is A. 1 dia cap with 0.5 dia riser, B. 6 dia cap with 4 dia riser, C. 8 dia cap with 1 dia riser, D. 4 dia cap with 8 dia riser. The correct answer is 6 dia cap with 4 dia riser. Compensation against openings in process vessels for giving inlet and outlet connections for providing side glasses and manholes etc. is provided for strength and rigidity. The most efficient type of compensation is of type A. nozzle or rim, B. flared out, C. fluid in, D. ring plate. The correct answer is nozzle or rim. In case of a continuous distillation column, increase in reflux ratio may result in the A. lower fixed charges for the column, B. greater cost for the reboiler heat supply, C. greater cost for the condenser coolant, D. all A, B, and C. The correct answer is all A, B, and C. In a distillation column, the minimum residence time for liquid in the downspout is about seconds. A1, B8, C80, D180. The correct answer is 8. Thickness of the frame of a plate and frame filter as compared to that of plates is A less, B same, C more, D either A or B. The correct answer is more. Which of the following factors affect the pressure drop in a co-current gas liquid absorption packed tower? A. Size, shape, orientation and surface of the packing particles. B. Density and viscosity of fluids. C. Fluid flow rates. D. All A, B and C. The correct answer is all A, B and C. The thickness of heat transfer plates used in the plate type heat exchanger ranges from mm pressed in a single piece provided with grooves corrugations. A 0.3 to 0.8. B 1.25 to 3.125. C 3.5 to 7.0. D 8.12. The correct answer is 1.25 to 3.125. Rivets are generally specified by the A. Head diameter, B. Shank diameter, C. Overall length, D. None of these. The correct answer is shank diameter. Length to diameter ratio of most rotary dryers is in the range of A. 1 to 2, B. 4 to 10, C. 10 to 20, D. 20 to 30. The correct answer is 4 to 10.